We're gonna do a little bit of dancing. You're gonna enjoy it. I promise it's gonna be fun. So what I want you to do, I want you to jump up and land. Jump and land. Easy enough. But now what you're gonna try and do is you're gonna jump and you're gonna land really, really, really softly. See? I landed very softly. And this position that I'm in, with my butt back and my knees bent, is athletic position. And this is the position that the majority of swingers danced in. So again, I jump up and land really softly. And my knees are bent. I got my butt a little bit out. All my weight is over my core. You know, I got a little like bounce in my step. I'm bouncing a little. And this sort of basic movement is called pulsing. And this is really important when you're dancing because it keeps you connected to the music that you're dancing to. So like if I'm dancing to a basic song with, you know, a nice slow BPM, I'm going to be pulsing with every beat. And this is really important. We're not going to be teaching it this semester just because of COVID procedures, but this is really important when it comes to partner dancing. Because with partner dancing, you're going to want to be in sync with your partner, and you're going to want to be on the same beat that your partner is. So again, bounce, athletic position, and here I am pulsing. So I'm going to ask our DJ to play me a little song, or a little clip, nice slow song, so we can kind of get together and pulse together. Waiting for my DJ. Turn that up, cannot hear that. Playing my song.
She gets too hungry for dinner at 8. She likes the theater
So here I am.
and never
In
comes
my athletic
late.
position.
She never bothers
Just
with
stepping around a little
people
bit, a little
she'd
straight
hate.
from side to side.
That's why the lady is a tramp.
I'm always keeping
Doesn't like
my
crap
pulse
games
to the music.
with barons
It's
or
really important to keep
earls.
me centered. Because even when you're
Won't
dancing,
go to Harlem
I don't know any moves.
in
You're
ermine
always
and
paying
pearl.
attention. And you're always going to be able to do a little
Won't
something.
dish
You
the dirt
understand that. All right, and
for
cut the
the
music.
rest of the girls. That's why the lady
They cut to the
is a
music.
tramp.
Awesome. So what have we learned so far? Approximately 2 things. Your athletic position, and you learned how to pulse. Good. And these are really the most important fundamental things you can learn when you're, learning this style of dance. But what I'm going to start teaching you now is the 2 basic steps that make up basically swing and lindy hop as a whole. The thing about this is I'm going to teach you them in a certain way, a couple certain ways. But when you're dancing, you can use these 2 steps literally any way that you want. This type of dance is less about learning a specific routine and more about using your knowledge of the dance to connect to the music that you're dancing to and improvising and using your own musicality to come up with something that's fun. So again, just to start us off, because I know it's a little intimidating. It's still a little intimidating to me, and I've been dancing for years. We're going to start you off with the basic step. So the basic 6-count and 8-count step are made up of 2 dance moves, the rock step and the triple step. I am going to start you off with the rock step. And I will ask my DJ once again to play me just a nice little slow jam. You can continue the same song. Mr. DJ, play me off. yourself and find your athletic stance. Beautiful.
beyond the
Now I'm going to ask you to do something really simple.
somewhere waiting
I want you to
for
step forward to the beat. Step.
my lover stands on
And go
golden
back.
sands and watches the ship
And forward.
that go sailing
And back.
somewhere beyond the
And forward. And back. And forward. And back. And forward. And back. This is a rock step. If you understand my motion, just a little step back, about half my weight on there, not a full up step here. You know, nice little rock back. Your weight still staying over your core. You can feel the music. So that is a rock step. As I just said, a little half step back. You can go with, if you move the right foot back, you can go with your left foot back. You can go a little behind or on the other side. You know, you can even rock step forward. It's a little rock step. A very easy, very simple move, but it's fundamental to 6 count. What I'm going to show you next is our triple step, the second most important move for this basic step. And I'm going to show you it right now, side to side. But again, like I said, with the rock step, you do not have to go one way with it. You can go literally all around. But I'm going to show you a triple step. I'm going to go first with my weight on my left leg, triple stepping to the right, and triple step. You see that? And I'm going to go back left, a triple step. What's very important to know about this move is that I'm not hopping around. It's not like a little horsey gallop. I'm dancing into the ground in my athletic stance to the beat. Triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step. That kind of concept. And remember, this is a syncopated step, so it does go triple step instead of triple step. You got that? So our two most fundamental pieces are our rock step, and our triple step. Now I'll help you put this together in 6 count. Now don't be intimidated. I know that the term 6 count can be very intimidating. I personally cannot count to 6, but it's okay. We'll get through this together. A 6 count is, I would say, the most basic combination of these two moves that we've learned, and it's comprised of 1 rock step and 2 triple steps. So in the context of partner dancing, when you're dancing with someone, there is usually a leading role and a following role. Some people like to use the term men and women's roles. We don't do that here. We are an ambi-dancers dance club, meaning we encourage people to learn both roles of dancing. But I'm going to start off showing you the follower's footwork. It's very easy. So what you're going to start with, it's a very easy thing to remember. The follower steps back on their right foot. They start with all their weight on their left leg and step back with their right because the follower is always right. Always right. So I'm going to start you off very slow with the rock step, stepping back with my right foot. Rock, step, and see where I'm at. My weight is still on my left leg. So does it make sense for me to step here? Does it make sense for me to step here? No. See, my weight is over this, so I want to go back this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to triple step to the right. Triple step. Wow, look at that. And see where I'm at now? All of my weight is on my right leg. So does it make sense for me to go here? Go here. We've been through the spiel. I'm going to head back to the left with 1 more triple step. Triple step. And that's it. That's the entire combo. Like, that's 6 count. You just learned the step that most people won't know in their entire lives. And I'll do that once again. I can count it out, the 6 count if you want, just to make it very clear. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. That's 6 count. Rock, step, trip, full step, trip, full step, rock, step, trip, full step, trip, full step, rock, step, trip, full step, trip, full step. Awesome, you just learned followers 6 count. How easy peasy was that? Easy peasy lemon breezy. And so this is going to get a little funky. So I'm going to be teaching you the leader's footwork now. So remember how the follower is always right. Make a little L with your hand. Leader left, baby. That easy. So the leader's footwork is basically identical. We're just doing it mirrored from before. So before I step back with my right foot, triple step to the right, and back to the left. We're going to do the complete mirror. So I'm going to start with all of my weight on my right leg, and I'm going to want to step back with my left. Remember, leader, left. So I'm going to start with the rock, step back, rock, step, and it's going to make sense for me to go to the left, trip, full step, and back to the right, trip, full step. And that's leader's footwork. I'll count it out for you, 6 counts, so you guys know. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. Rock, step, trip, full step, trip, full step. Rock, step, trip, full step, trip, full step. Rock, step, trip, full step, trip, full step. That easy. You just mastered 6 count, baby. You just did that. Applaud yourself because you deserve that. So in my demonstrations, which you have seen, I basically did like a little back. I went to the side, and went back. But that is not all that this dance move is. I'm just doing it in the confines of my tiny little dorm. But this move is a great basic step when you want to learn how to travel on the dance floor. And you can, use these steps either way. I can go rock, step, triple step forward, triple step forward, and then go rock, step, and triple step back, and triple step back, and rock, step, triple up to the side. Oh, I'm turning around. Oh God, I'm turning around. I'm rotating. Oh my God, what's going on? I'm freaking out. It's not easy. Just remember, if you are doing anything, be doing a little rotating. Yes, 6. I see that 6. I can count to 6. But if you're doing anything, just remember to keep your footwork. You're always going to want to go back to that rock step. It's okay. People mess up sometimes dancing. Dancing's hard. But you always have your rock step, and that is always your foundational move. So if I mess up, I go, oh no, I forgot. Okay, it's okay. I got it. I'm back again. It's okay. I'm fine. I got it. It's fine. Your rock step is your foundational move. So in this mess that I have just jumbled at you for the past, 15 minutes, I have taught you 6 count with both leaders and followers footwork. And what I'm going to teach you next is very easy. It is considered the foundational step of Lindy Hop, which is the predecessor of East Coast Swing. East Coast Swing is primarily danced in the 6 count step. Lindy Hop is primarily danced at 8 count. Excuse me. But I'm going to teach you 8 count swing. It's very simple. It is the exact same 2 moves that I taught you, your rock step and your triple step, but it'll look a slightly different thing. Slightly different. So I taught you 6 count swing. There's 6 counts. 8 count swing, it's just 2 more counts. I'm going to show you. I'm going to demonstrate first. It's okay to watch me. It's going to be okay. I'm here for you. I can walk you through this. We're going to be okay. So I'm going to show you 8 count swing. Rock, step, trip, full step, 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 trip, full step. Oh God, what am I doing with my feet? Oh my God, I don't know what's happening. Oh my God, this person is crazy. I have no idea what they're doing. That's okay. These thoughts are common. I'm going to break it down. Don't worry. So what I just did was a combination of my rock step and triple step, except instead of going a rock step, triple step, and then back into a triple step, I'm gonna go rock, step, triple step, and I'm gonna add another step. That's the extra 2 counts. And then I'm gonna go back and triple step. So I still end up exactly where I was before, just 2 steps later. That's okay. And remember, like I mentioned before, you don't have to just step to the side. You could do another rock step back. See, rock step, triple step, rock step, triple step, rock step, triple step. I can do a forward step, triple step, rock step, and forward. I can triple step forward, and step forward, and rock back, and step forward. But that's all 8 count. That's all 8 count, baby. It's that easy. So, to recap what we have learned the rock step and the triple step. We have learned both followers footwork and leaders footwork for 6 count swing. And you now understand the basic concept of 8 count swing. And just to make it a little easier for you, I'm going to go over leader and followers footwork. Very easy, very similar to 6 count. It's the exact same premises. Remember, the follower is always right, leader left. I don't know if that's probably a backwards L on your screen, but that's okay. I take the L. But to start with followers footwork, again, we're going to be stepping back on our right, rock, step, triple step, and I'll throw in a step, triple step, a rock, step, triple step, triple step. That easy, that basic. And I'll show you leaders footwork too. Same thing, mirrored. Starting with my weight on my right leg, stepping back on my left, rock, step to the left, triple step, step, triple step, rock, step, triple step, triple step, rock, step, triple step, triple step. Wow. If you've been following along with this lesson and actually dancing, I am first of all so proud of you. I feel like a mother who's just seen her kid go off on the first day of school. Like, I'm gonna cry. But you just did that. You learned that. It is that easy. I see some applause from the club members. Thank you. Thank you. Applaud your child who just went off to their first day of school. We're proud of them for taking that first step into dance. Recap. Quick recap. We learned our rock steps. And also this rock step. We learned our triple steps. And I can keep going like this if I want to. Triple steps. We learned our followers. We also learned our leaders for 6 count. We learned 8 count. We learned 8 count, follow and lead. Oh my God, you guys are so incredible. It brings a tear to my eye. So before I finish off this lesson, I'm going to teach you one more easy little concept. Technically, this concept's not really applicable right now because this applies to partner dancing, and per university regulations and our own code regulations, we are not going to be teaching partner dancing at all this semester. I know, it's really sad, it's really upsetting. We want all of our dancers to stay safe and also be able to dance with us in a safe environment. But I'm going to teach you this anyways. And the hopeful thought that someday things are going to get better and we can go back to social dancing in a partner setting. Because I know if you are a dancer watching this right now, you really miss social dancing. And I really miss social dancing. So I'll come a little closer to the camera. Here's fine. And I'm going to teach you handwork for leading and following. Now, it's very important. If your arms They're going to stay right in front of you at about waist level. So they're not going to be up here. They're not going to be down here. They're not going to be back here. They're right here at your waist level. Nice and easy. Someone said something to me. Something said something to me. So your hands, I'm going to go at this level. Be a nice, comfortable level, waist level for you or for your partner. And I'm going to teach you the two most basic hand holds. And my favorite way to teach this, for followers, I want you to hold your hands out like you're holding two red solo cups. So see, kind of got that like C shape. Maybe I'm turning a little upwards. Have this C shape in my hand. And for followers, you're going to take your hands and you're going to dip them into that cup. They're going to be disgusting and you're going to dip your hands into that cup. So it basically comes out of it, dancing by myself. I got the C shape and I got a little shape like that. So you got like a nice little interlocking hand hold. And this is the foundational hand hold for closed position, for open position, for all positions of dance. So remember, make your solo cups, be nasty and dip your hands in those solo cups. And you have a beautiful hand hold for swing. The last recap of this lesson, I promise, I keep saying recap a lot. You learned 6 count, you learned 8 count. You got your rock step and your triple step. You got your leaders and followers footwork for 6 count, leaders and followers footwork for 8 count, and you now know how to dip your hands into a solo cup. So I will call it for this swing lesson. So now that I am done with my lesson, we're going to move on to Pax Gregory, who will be teaching the Intro to Blues lesson this week. It's very fun. I really hope you stick around, but thank you for seeing my lesson, and Pax, over to you.
Hello, I am Pax. I'm teaching blues. Also, if you were here last semester, you will have noticed I have changed scenery. I am no longer in my living room because I'm back on campus, which means, unfortunately, I have less space, but also no more cats. There will be no cat surprises this semester. I'm going to be teaching the basics of blues, and blues, like swing dancing, is generally a partnered social dance, which unfortunately we cannot do at the moment because we don't want to get sick. But I'm going to be taking you through the very basics of how to move, even on your own, and things that can apply to partner dancing as well. So here we go. I'm gonna back away and hopefully you can still hear me, and maybe my neighbors can't, but I have no one below me, which is nice, so I don't have to worry about stomping. Not that you really stomp too much in blues. So the biggest thing in blues that you have to do is follow the music. Swing dancing, you got your rock step, triples, all those kind of things. Blues is very much stepping side to side, going with the flow of the music. So you just kind of step, and you can travel places. You can travel forwards, travel backwards to the side, diagonal, wherever your heart desires, except for maybe up. You can't just walk into the sky. Although it would be very impressive if you could on the blues dance floor. I think everyone would be watching you. So a key for this kind of dance also is a loose body. You got to be able to flow with the music. So I'm going to do something right now to get you a little more in touch with your hips, because we've had some dancers in the past who come from more classical backgrounds with very stiff torsos, and that does not apply for this form of dance. It's very in the ground, moving with the music, so you need access to these hip muscles. So what I'm going to do to help you gain access to these wonderfully important muscles of your body is to push your hips forward and then to the left, back, and to the right, forward, left, back, right, speed it up a little bit, forward, left, back, right, forward, left, back, right, and then just do a circle. And then we're going to go forward, to the right, back, to the left, forward, right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, and then a circle this way. And hopefully you should feel these hips loosened up. Because one important aspect of blues is that there are so many different body parts that you can lead with if you are the leader. So in swing, just like in blues, there's leader and follower in the partner dancing. However, you can lead with anything from your head to your toes. You can lead with your head, your shoulder, your hips, maybe your knees, and your feet. So what I was doing before when we were just stepping, now you can see my feet, I think. Yeah. This is leading with your feet because you're taking a step and then the rest of your body is following you. So you step forward and the body goes with. Forward, body goes with. If you were to step back, your body goes with it too. But you can also follow with the feet, which means that more of your body is going and then you step, and then you step, and then you step. So you can lead and follow with majority of the body parts. It might be a little difficult to lead with your head forwards, unless you're running. That is how you run, or backwards. So you can lead with your feet very easily. And let's move one body part up in the head, shoulders, knees, and toes situation that's going on here. Reverse order this time. So if you want to lead with your knees, that would imply that you are bending your leg and then following it. This is something that you will see in a routine that we're going to be taught later in the semester, when you're sticking your knee out and then you're following the movement of that knee. So you put your knee out and then you go. Knee out and go. Knee out and go. Can't really go backwards because unlike flamingos, that's not how we're jointed. But if you are jointed that way, you can lead backwards with your knees, or yeah, that's not something human beings are capable of. I'm just figuring that out right now. Moving up from the knees to the hips. Those lovely muscles that we were just working out a few moments ago. Hopefully they're still loose and ready to go. You can lead forward with your hips by stepping like this. Think of it as you, like, your hands are full and you're trying to get a door open. Ooh, you gotta go. Look at that. Or you can lead backwards and you're scooching people out of the way with your butt. So you're going like this. Like, get out of my way, I'm trying to sit down. Get people with your butt. You can go from side to side. So you go like that. So this is like you're sitting, except for there is no chair. So you gotta catch yourself with your feet. Now, leading with your hip is actually incorporated in a lot of blues moves. You can, not Blues Clues though, you can see it in moves such as the grind that we got going on here, because you're leading with your hips in this one. There's also what I like to call the bring it around town that you will be seeing later on this semester, I can promise you. That's leading with your hip because your body is following the movement of your hip. You could go diagonally with your hip if you wanted to. It's entirely possible. The hip is a very varied element of your body, that good old ball and socket joint. And speaking of ball and socket joints, let's go up to the shoulders, which are almost as limber as your hips, because they're jointed in the same exact manner. Now, how do you lead and follow with your hips? Well, think of it. Outside of blues even, it's very common for people to sway just like this. That's leading with your shoulders, because your shoulder goes first and then your body follows. The important thing about this is that your feet should very closely follow whatever you are leading with so that you do not fall, because it's entirely possible for you to just keep leading with your shoulder and next thing you know, you're going to fall over. So Even though naturally you might say, oh, it should be shoulder, hip, knee, toe, you need to not fall. You don't want your partner to fall. That will be a mess on the dance floor. And you don't want to be a mess on the dance floor. That is dangerous. It can injure yourself, your partner, and all of those around you. So you need to take care of yourself. So you can lead side to side like I am doing now, and like will be coming up in the hound dog routine. So this is all applicable. None of this is for nothing. All of this has real world impact on your ability to do blues dancing. This isn't busy work. You can lead forward and back with your shoulders, which is kind of like side to side, but in a different way. This is more diagonal, I suppose, but you can move forward. You can keep going forward with the shoulders. You can go back with your shoulders. You can go diagonal, either which way, and the good old-fashioned side to side. Now, of course, I'm showing this where I'm physically moving. You do not need to move your feet necessarily as long as you are not falling over. You could stay in place and just sway, shifting the weight of your feet. And you can also do this forwards and backs. That's a good thing about leading with your shoulders is you don't necessarily have to move. You can just stay in place because most of the motion is up here if there's a time on the dance floor, when dance floors are a thing again, that you don't have space to move. So you're biding your time before you can make your way to a new spot on the dance floor. So you got to think about how you're moving around. That wasn't a blues dance move. That was just something I did. And now you can also lead with your head. Like I mentioned before, which would be kind of like the shoulder, but just a little more intense. Got a good old... And one way that I think I can think of your head moving forwards is something that's going to be taught later in the semester. It's body rolls, which I'm not going to be teaching right now, but you will have to know how to lead with your head. So hopefully you have a head on your shoulders and you know how to move it. I don't assume that the Headless Horseman is one of our viewers, but if you are, I'm so sorry. This does not apply to you. So you can go forward with it. Just gotta dip down. Moving back. Then there's classic to the side, diagonal. This is also another very important one for your feet to immediately follow. Please do not lead with your head without your feet very closely following, unless you're doing body rolls. But that is a lesson for a different time. So now you got it. This is the most basic that you can get with blues because so much of it is about feeling the rhythm of the music and seeing how it moves you. And now you have full access to your body. You got your head if you feel like swaying, got your hips if you maybe feel like being a little scandalous, who knows? Blues can get especially scandalous when you're with partners because you are very on top of each other. This is not something I can demonstrate to you at this moment in time, but I promise. Negotiate boundaries with whoever you're dancing with. Don't be afraid to advocate for yourself because even though this is a club that has lots of physical touching, we still have boundaries. And you should still have boundaries too. And be respectful of other people's boundaries. You never want to be the person who's making someone uncomfortable on the dance floor. Especially if you're leading. So listen to each other's boundaries. If someone doesn't want you to do grind moves where you're on top of each other and you're leading with your hips, respect that. You can just shift to leading with your shoulders. You got all these options. You have the whole body to work with. Shoulders, head, feet. If the hips is too much, 3 other places you can go. Or maybe they don't like moving with their head. Maybe they have a neck brace. You don't know. You have so many options to choose from depending on the situation. Blues is adaptable like that. And so is swing. They're very much made to be played around with. Do what feels right. It's in the culture of the dance. I suppose. I mean, I just hinted at culture. I suppose I should give a little background that I didn't really before. I just jumped in. You're all limber, and now it's time to listen. So, some background about blues. It is related to swing, but it's much more closely related with spiritual songs, African American spiritual songs, which is where a lot of the swing comes from, because then, the spirit moves you. That's very much what it's about. It's very earth-centered. Ooh. You can tell that this is on my bed because of how it's bouncing when I hit my bed. It's very earth-centered, which is part of why, including with swing, that you're so in the ground and going down a lot of the time, because their religion was much more earth-centered, earth-based. In one of the talks that we attended over the summer, it was mentioned that the hierarchy in more Western, non-African religions was much more earth and then going upwards, which is why you see so much of our dance with the tight torso kind of head up towards the sky, whereas they had a stronger relationship to the ground, so that it's more earth-centered, and that's a key difference in the dance that you need to be mindful of. And also, so you're moving with the rhythms of the earth and the music that's going with it. So that's something to be mindful of too, is where all this comes from. And that's something we try to be mindful of as a club, that we are grateful for this wonderful legacy and the fact that we can participate in it. It's a very open and welcoming, as far as I can see, community. I mean, my parents met swing dancing, so that's cool. It's been around for a while, and it's meant to keep evolving, but we also need to remember where it comes from, because if you are doing something without acknowledging its roots and just being like, this is our club, like if we were to just say, this is our club, that's appropriation, because all of us are white. And that's something that we have to be very aware of, that we're teaching this aspect of a culture that we don't really belong to, even though it is American. It's African American social dance, and we have to keep that in mind, and we want to keep that in your mind as well, that we are aware of the wonderful, strong heritage that these dances hold. So yes, so now with that in mind and the importance of this dance, how about we recap getting in touch with your body? Woo! Okay, so if you know head, shoulders, knees, and toes, you're 98% of the way to all the ways you can lead your dance. You got your head, you got your shoulders, but wait, there's more. You got your hips in there too, and then your knees and toes. Almost all of the joints in your body, except for your skull, is not a joint. It's a fused joint. Anatomy for you. So in reverse order of what I taught you, we got your head, where you can lead with your head, and which means your head goes first and your feet are close to follow so that you don't fall over. Please keep your balance on the dance floor, especially when solo dancing and there is no one to catch you. So you can do that. As many ways as you can move your head, that's how you can lead it. And with shoulders, same thing. You can lead diagonal, to the side, that other diagonal, ooh. You can even go forward or back. And also there's varying degrees of it, which I didn't mention before, but like it depends. It's essentially a shoveling motion. As the snowplows go outside my window, I'm reminded that this is essentially how it looks when you are shoveling. which is the motion that you were going for. And depending on how much snow you think is on the dance floor is how deep you need to bend your shoulder. Because you can do a little shallow thing, little shimmy. Ooh, look at that go. Or you can, maybe there was a blizzard last night. It all depends. And going from the shoulders to the hips, the wonderful hips that hold so much of your body weight and allow you to dance. You can go from side to side, leading with the hip. This is one of those elements that you can also follow with. But key to remember, anytime you are following with something else, there's another body part that you are leading with. So all of these are connected because you are one whole being. So you can go backwards with the hip, like you're gonna sit down, or you're squatting or something. Then going to the side, diagonal. And then we got let me back up, good old feet. Good old feet. You can step to the side, and this is leading with the feet. And you can go forward. There's lots of things that you're going to learn how to do with your feet this semester if you stick around in this club. You can do so much with them. You can go diagonal. This is more, okay. Ooh, I just got a little country western there for a moment. Gotta remember what dance I'm doing. And the whole time you're doing this, you just need to perceive the music that is around you. There's no music currently. Just go with the rhythm of your heart. Whatever music is flowing through you at this moment. And you can just vibe. You can move where the spirit takes you. And that is in the spirit of blues. So that's, yeah, let's have some music. Let's have some music. Experiment with some blues, with all the new body work that you've just learned.
Do I move you? Are you willing? Do I groove you? Is it thrilling? Do I soothe you? Tell the truth now. Do I move you? Are you loose now? The answer better be that pleases me. Are you ready for this action? Does it give you satisfaction? Are you hip to what I'm saying? If you are, then let's start swaying. The answer better be that pleases me. When I touch you, do you quiver? From your head down to your liver. If you like it, let me know it. Don't be psychic, or you'll blow it. The answer better be
spins are also welcome. That if you're on your own, especially, there are definitely partner spins that you can do, but whatever flair you want to add. You want some jazz hands? Add jazz hands. Do you want to do a little spin? Do a little spin. That's not really leading with anything. That's just spinning in a circle. But you can. I suppose with all these body parts, you can also spin in a circle if you wanted to. I showed it with the hips earlier. I don't know what the knees really are. Just have a good time. Have a good time. Feel the music in your body. And don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed or embarrassed. No one is paying attention to you. Unless we're trying to help teach you, we're not looking at you like, oh, who's this? Who's this who thinks they can blues dance? Like, that's not what's going on. Blues dance is very much between you and the music. And when you have a partner, it is between the two of you and the music. You are very centered. And the more you think about how others are thinking about you, the less you can connect with the music. And the harder it will be for you to blues dance. We understand insecurity in this club, but we do not promote it. Please. Do not. We do not promote insecurity, unlike what Matthias might have just said. Well, he's saying things. But if you are moving with your hips and you're thinking, oh no, my hips are so big, everyone's going to be looking at my humongous hips or whatever, literally no one's going to be. They're going to be inside themselves vibing. They're just going to be vibing with the music because that is what this is about. And the same goes for swing. You think anyone else is going to notice, except for like maybe if you have a partner, that you messed up your counts? No one is. You will be fine. That is a good thing to say on the first lesson, is that you will be fine. If you were sitting alone in your dorm room watching us do this, saying, I could never. Oh no, how do these people get up on the screen and wiggle around like that? You can do it too, I promise. I started swing dancing last year, and now I'm already on the board and teaching things. You can do it. We all believe in you. And that is the point of this lesson, is that do what feels right, and we will help you if it feels wrong. And if it feels wrong and it's with another person, let the other person know. Because they should respect that. If they don't, and it's an in-person thing at our club, come get one of us. And we will make them know it's wrong. So I think...
Want to throw it back to me for a little closing statement?
This is conclusion of the blues lesson with a little bit of a pep talk. Because I know you need it. Love you. Okay, back to Amelia.
Thank you, Pax, for that incredible blues lesson. And you made a lot of really great points, not only talking about the amazing things our bodies can do in relation to blues music, but also talking about the importance of the culture behind this music, the history behind this music, and this dance. It is super important to acknowledge because we are an all-white board. We have been majority white board for a very long time at this school. And we want to do our part to make sure that the people who learn our dances, well, not our dances, but like our lessons, understand where this music comes from and why it's important. And you also made some incredible points about partner dancing, consent with your partners, being comfortable with your dance partners, and just like all around incredible pep talk. Like, my heart goes out to you. But I would just like to say thank you to our very few amount of people who are live streaming this. Shout out Tony. Thanks for joining us. But I just want to say thank you for joining in on this lesson today. It means a lot to us. This is our second semester of trying out these Zoom lessons, especially during quarantine. It can be tough. But you know what? If we can get up every week and dance alone in our dorms to our laptops, just having a good time, then by God, you can too. Because no one cares what you will look like, and no one cares what we look like. We're all just having a good time and trying our best. There's my pep talk. So I'm going to end this lesson a little bit shortly. It usually goes until about 8:30 on these purely online lessons. But next week, very important next week, we are going to be starting our in-person lessons. They're going to go every other week with our online lessons. It's super important. If you're interested in joining in on these, per church regulations, we're only allowed to have UConn students there who are on campus. Really sorry to our outside community dancers. We would love to have you there if we could, but we're trying to keep things safe for our students right now. But for those who are students on campus, please come and dance with us. We would love to see you there. It would make us so happy and give us so much joy in our hearts. And next week, we are going to be reviewing the Shim Sham. And we're going to be reviewing Hound Dog, which is known as the Shim Sham of the blues world. Incredible dance. I really hope to see you guys there because they're both incredible dancers.